was listening to a reading a couple days ago, and the reader said, "Oh, wow, looks like you have intentionally been put through a lifetime of rejection therapy." I haven't heard that term before, rejection therapy, but I thought about it and decided that made a hell of a lot of sense. You know, you start out as a kid and you have the parent who isn't emotionally available or is downright abusive, and you may be a kid, but you're smart enough to know you're being rejected. You're not smart enough to just accept it. You fight like hell to get that parent to quit rejecting you, to like you, to appreciate you, to make you feel like a parent is supposed to make a kid feel like in a perfect world. And you may do that until the parent leaves this earth. At least I did. He never succeeded, but I never quit trying either. And now that foundation has been laid. You get a little older, you have your little friends you play with, and there are going to be some of those friends that reject you because you're not fast enough running around the bases, or you like Sally and Betty doesn't want you to like Sally. If you're not going to say you don't like Sally, then Betty doesn't like you and she'll reject you. You know, the stupid stuff kids do. Then you get a little older and you like a boy or a girl, but they don't like you. They tell you you're too fat or you're not voluptuous enough. I don't know. I mean, I've heard a lot of it. Certainly I have had a lot of rejection in my life. Then you get to healing. That place where you realize something isn't right about how I'm living my life. You start working on this stuff. And you realize that rejection really doesn't have anything to do with you personally the way you thought it did. It has more to do with the other person and what they're putting onto you. When you're healing, you can choose not to accept this personally anymore. And rejection becomes a different kind of thing. It still isn't fun. I'm not going to put a pretty picture on it. Rejection hurts, but it doesn't hurt as long if you start looking at it differently. And pretty soon you do become kind of immune to it. At least that's what it's been like for me. Because, you know, there's just that point where you go, oh, I'm used to this. Okay, bye-bye. You know, but when you think about it, you can get a little butt hurt, like, universe, why did you put me through this? Now I see why, though. Because a lot of us are being prepared for our life missions. A lot of us have come here with something very specific that we're supposed to accomplish, and we've gone through a hell of a lot of testing and building up of our strength and our courage and our, if not immunity, lesser sensitivity to being rejected. Because these missions are going to be probably not the most popular with a majority of people. And so if we're still at that place where we feel rejection and we give up on things, if people are not accepting of us or what we're doing, then a lot of missions are going to fail, right? I mean, I guess I'm just saying I can see why so much rejection, at least in my case, because it got me to the point where I'm used to people turning their backs on me. I'm used to people not necessarily liking me. I am used to a lot of rejection. When I get into my mission, if I am having people say they're not on board with it or they don't think what I'm doing is right, I'm going to be gracious, at least at first, and say thank you for your opinion. But it's not going to faze me like it did. When you're used to something, it's not the big deal it was. First time, big deal. Maybe third time, big deal. Not such a big deal, but still a big deal. 10th time, though, 20th, 100th, not everyone's going to be on board about me or what I'm doing. So it does kind of make sense. I don't know if this video makes sense. I'm doing my best to put it together here, but a lot of this stuff that's so painful to go through doesn't seem to make sense. And that makes it harder to go through, I think, when it doesn't make sense. Anyway, for what it's worth, rejection therapy, if that's part of your life too, all the prep for your life mission, maybe it makes a little bit more sense now. Maybe not, but I tried.